is up, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, day traders, closet swing traders? Hope you guys are doing absolutely fantastic. Hope you guys had a great Halloween and you got a lot of candy, but not too much where you got to now go to the dentist. There's a whole thing, there's a whole process. It's crazy. It's crazy, but I hope you guys had a great time. Got you guys piling in the house, which is beautiful. We got Albert, good morning to you. Bill, Brian, Cindy, Fabrice is in the house. Good morning. We got George, Jay, Jeremy, Hertz. Good morning. We got Jill, Joe, JT, Lauren, Martina, Simon. Good morning. Sebastian, Wally. Good morning. All my peeps in YouTube land. I got Richard, Jet, all you other guys watching and lurking in the background. It's okay. I still love you. Just hit that like and subscribe button if you have not done so already. I don't know, something about the algos and people like it. People like it. I don't know. But we got the SPY with a minor gap down. Minor gap down. Really at a crucial level. 418.31 is my magic number. We hit that one almost perfectly. So if we're going to reject a number, it's going to be here. Is going to be here. This is 3 VPOCs in a row. We are pretty still far extended from any like I feel like Wilson, Robin Williams on the island. Like we're so far away from civilization at this point. That first moving average would take us to about 423.92. So we have a lot of room to the upside if we could break this 418.31. I don't know if we could hit that today, but I would think to the upside, we could probably at least hit 420.99, and there might be some level of some type of excitement if we get past kind of that level. So we're right there. I mean, we're only gapping down 15 cents right now, so nothing too crazy. I don't know. To the downside, our first stop that we would have to retest would be 415.79. I got one level lower than that, 413.01. And then if we're going to make a double bottom at some point, it's 410.65. So this is a very key level we got to get through for any hope of a rebound. But we don't have any double bottoms. And if we do skyrocket out of here and 6 months from now, we're just like, oh, this is the most bullish market we've ever seen. Without a retest, it would be very rare. And that would be a very V-shaped recovery from here. I still think longer term, though. I still think this big move is wave 3. I still think this is a wave 4. And I am looking for one more bounce, something crazy, and then go from there. But for today, we'll have to see where we open. We'll have to see where we get this open. I don't know if that's going to be too strong of a resistance for us. Let's take a look at the cues. Maybe that could lend a hand for some insight. The cues. Oh, today is also a big day too. I forgot about that. We got Jerome Powell today. So we got Jerome Powell's speech coming out at around 2:00, and then we got Jerome Powell speaking at 2:30 Eastern today. I forgot about that. We'll see how that affects the market. Probably some volatility, obviously, in the morning. Might die down a little bit, just kind of waiting on Jerome Powell. We'll see. We got the Qs. Decent close on the Qs yesterday. So VPOC is higher than that one. So we got a little bit more room actually on the Qs. Next level up would be 354.76. All right. Maybe the Qs could get the SPY over that little hump. We'll see. But we have a lot of room on the Qs to go. We should have some level of support. 350.58 is the first one. If we do lose that one, I'm looking for 348.51 to hold. We'll see. TLT had a little bond news this morning as well. And this one is gapping up right smack in the middle of what could have been a pennant pattern. It looks like we gapped above it. We pulled back to get back underneath it, and right now we are smack in the middle there as well. So kind of a crucial level here. If we could recapture, I would think if we could recapture this $84 level and stay above it, that would be a positive for TLT. That means that the rates for the 20 years coming down a little bit, and that would be a positive for the stock market. So we'll have to check that out as well. CZR. Yeah, if you guys have tickers, feel free to throw it into the chat pane. Caesars Entertainment. Looks like people are gambling. with these markets, if you're not gambling the markets, you got to be gambling somewhere else, I guess. So Caesars is getting a nice little gap up. Looks like on earnings, they had a 18%, almost 19% upside beat on earnings per share. They also beat by $58 million in revenue. Pretty decent. You do have island reversal at this point. That's going to be a very, if we could hold this today, that's a very nice looking gap on Caesars. I do got some overhead resistance at 44.32. Would be a bigger level. Otherwise, this is a very good gap. If we do not fade this one back, if we could leave this down here, that is an island reversal. Very strong reversal signal in the markets. Obviously, we're going to have to deal with a whole heck of a lot of moving averages, and we got this one key VPOC zone, 44.30, 44.38, something like that. Signs of life. Signs of life. We'll see if this one could start moving. What was the highs on Caesars? How far down are we? We're still in chop zone. We're still just trending back and forth. Chopping back and forth. But that would be our first sign. We do have a little bit of longer term support down here as well. That's not bad. I'm going to throw this one up higher on the list. I don't know what the volume's going to be like, but probably pretty decent on this one. Also, by the way, if you guys are on host and panelists, if you don't mind changing that over to everyone, that would be fantastic. Good morning, Daniel in YouTube land. All right. We got that one pretty high on the list. What was the other ones? Starbucks. It's my daily reminder to drink some coffee. Starbucks not feeling it. Nope. When we are on the verge of recession, do you still want to pay $27 for a cup of coffee? Let's see what their news is. Starbucks gears up for Q4. What's in store? And then for some reason, UAW's record deal could boost. I don't know. That has to do with Starbucks. All right. But Starbucks is gapping down. This is a retest gap. It is blowing through a crucial level. That's going to be resistance 92.07. I have a couple of levels of support down here too. So 91.52. It's probably going to be a little. I think this one's. I don't know how much momentum this is going to get. I think this is a retest gap. Lots and lots of selling coming in yesterday. Good volume on this candle. We are breaking a key pivot, but yeah, probably short. Stay short on this one. But if you could get short close to $92, I think that's a better spot to do so. Get you a little bit better risk reward. Otherwise, we could get a bounce of 91.52. I got another level support 91.31, and then a major level 91.11. If that starts to break, we're back down to 89.51. So there's a decent amount of support. Probably looking for more chop on Starbucks, I think. But it would be short the rip. What looks like on that one. Microsoft. Take all these lines off. Microsoft with a gap up. Technically, yesterday's candle was a retest gap. I think today actually acts as a retest gap as well. We are into a little resistance. If you're going off of just that red candle, well, we do have a hammer. We are still in the all of yesterday was inside day range. And we're still inside of this candle as well. I got a good resistance at 339.92. I think we fade this one first. So I think we pull back first. Maybe looking for a bounce. Maybe looking for a bounce of 338.93 and then our opportunity to come to go possibly long. But I do have to watch out for that resistance on Microsoft. We've already kind of come up there and dealt with that one before, so I think it is more likely to break. But give me a pullback first on Microsoft. Let's get this one higher on the list too. And then even I mean, we're still inside this candle, but all three of these are inside this big major sell-off candle. So if we're gonna get any type of resistance, that's gonna be a very strong resistance that I'll just call it 340, but it's just slightly under it. Interesting candle pattern now. Very interesting hammer-ish looking candle. I like it bullish, but yeah, give me a pullback first. Especially with the Qs having a lot of room on it. Tesla. The Tessie. Let me take some of these lines off. It's November already. Like, that's crazy. We got through October somehow. We got through Halloween somehow. We are 14 days away from a CPI report. That's our next holiday. That's the next holiday coming in. Then after that, we got Thanksgiving. We got Christmas season. We've got New Year's Eve. And then we're into 2024. We got 2 short months. That's crazy. What happened to 2023? Tesla does have a little bit of a gap up. This is also a retest gap. You do have good support or good resistance above us at 207.58. Very, very strong resistance, I would think there. I think this one probably looks for a fade at open. So see if we get a pullback. Our real support on this one is 198.43. I don't know if we hit that today unless the market does decide to reject that key level and start pulling back. Otherwise, we're looking for a 201.06 on this retest. Kind of smack in the middle between two pretty strong VPOCs. We got a decent volume area. We got saved off of 197.50. And a little bit of volume coming in right above us, 205.26. So I would expect a little more chop. If you're going to try it, I think avoid the first 15 minutes on Tesla. Unless you're like a 1-minute candle trader, then obviously you can play some action. But I think this one will probably, if I was to go long, I'd want this thing to pull back first. Otherwise, I'm going to miss the upside for me. I don't know if we can get through that resistance that easily with this downtrend. APL. The Apple. Slight gap down, nothing too crazy. This would be another one I'd want to see pull back first. We do have good resistance up at 171.28. Pretty crazy day Apple had yesterday. So let's see if that momentum wants to continue. That was where this thing was set to open. Wasn't looking that great. I think Maloney was playing this thing to the downside. I believe I didn't see the follow through of the trade, but I think I know a couple of you guys who did take your profits. Made a decent amount of money off this initial move. We're good close on this one. At least we're above the open of that big red candle with lots of volume on it. Didn't quite get a break higher than this one yet. So all three of these are still inside day. We're probably looking for some more bullish momentum, but see if we get some pullback first. That is a little bit of a sign that this thing can reverse. You got the 200 right above you. That's at 171.80. But otherwise, very, very good candle. I didn't see much of the stock market past like noon yesterday. But yeah, that's I think we do get more continued momentum on this one. Let's see if we get a pullback, see if we can retest this 170 zone. And if we could hold that, I at least the next stop becomes 171.21. We already retested that, and we're probably looking for maybe trying to recapture that 200. NVIDIA, AMD. Let's start with AMD because I believe they had earnings first. So they had earnings that looked decent. Pretty good earnings for AMD. So it was a little surprise beat to the upside, 302. Surprise revenue beat of $100 million. Lisa Sue is crushing it. Uh, yeah, everything about the earnings was good. I think they actually sold off on earnings, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so earnings came out, they sold off on it, got bought back up, kind of came down to retest some of those levels and held. I would look for this bullish, but this is the type of market that is not very forgiving. Lots of things do not hold their rallies. This is not a major. If anybody was buying calls, buying puts, everybody's clapped. So any of the option or contract writers are going to make some money on this one. I'm going to need probably a little bit of a pullback, maybe into 98.41, and then target on this thing would be $100.61. But yeah, nothing wrong with that report. Yeah, we'll see if we get a little tiny pullback first on this one. This one will be fun to watch today, at least. But they held up. I think they survived earnings. I don't really see a reason why we should start really breaking $94 at this point. Nvidia, interesting hammer yesterday. That looks very bear trap ish. We're gonna see some reversals today, or are we gonna see some reversals and then Jerome Powell comes down and says no, no reversals. This is an ugly looking daily chart. I mean, head and shoulders, great retests. Now you got a hammer coming in, some decent volume yesterday. This is going to be that candle where if this candle breaks, the next stop on this thing becomes 366. So definitely bulls are going to want to hold this level. Where did we get down to? We tested an okay level of VPOX, didn't quite hit them all on that one. But interesting hammer. I'd probably be forced to play this hammer. Look to go bullish. I'm terrified of the upsides. Otherwise, you have a good trap, great volume, decent close. We got to get past 408.60. Lyra says, what time is JP speaking? His first, they're going to release the notes at 2 p.m. and then he speaks at 2:30 Eastern. So we're going to get our algo reaction at 2, and then he'll come out. He's going to just read the same speech that we already got the algos reacting to. And then we get some fireworks where he's going to answer some questions, and you're going to see a lot of volatility at that point. TGTX, nice gap and a 27% short float. This is a major gap. Major gap. Yeah. Lots and lots of shorts are squeezed on this thing. I don't know how I want to play this though. We are into a little bit of resistance. I love the fact that we're gapping above $10.57. That's above huge VPOC. This has got to be on earnings. That can't be real. Estimate was 3 cents. They came in with a 73-cent beat. 2,200% surprise earnings. That's gonna mess with some shorts. Surprise beat of revenue was 141 million. We did come down. Retail. I mean, we got to hold this level. This is gonna be one where we have to see where this thing opens. I really don't want to be the first one to buy it, but that short flow is crazy. And we are trapping 2 to 3 weeks of bears just profiting on this thing. And right now they have zero way out of saying, okay, I'm going to just take some profits. Why did I push Neo up there? Did add this to the chart, right? All right. Well, at least I got it back on the list. This could be a. If it my only problem with this thing is up so much already. This is a big gap. But from September 13th, we're trapping everybody. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with the short float on this one. Again, we got resistance. Our first resistance comes in $11.27. The next one, the next and final one is $11.52. Probably a little higher, maybe $11.59. After that, we got a big gap to fill. That is impressive. I don't want to go short it. Also, kind of want to dance around that open too. CRISPR Therapeutics gains as FDA panel completes review of gene therapy. I'm not a huge biotech trader. So this one again, so biotechs are going to be a little bit crazier to trade. On a technical basis, this looks amazing. Gapping almost above this entire high volume candle. Good breakout. We got a little resistance at 43.94. A lot of biotechs though, they will be sell the news events typically. And this one seems to be gapping on news events. Pretty good double bottom on a longer term basis. This one at one point was $217, a little higher. It's a very good location for some longs, some bulls to sink their teeth into on this one. I think your risk to reward is a little bit better. But see if this one fades first. I wouldn't be as excited on this one. Definitely one to watch. Let's add this one to the list. Otherwise, just on a technical basis, yeah, it does look good. Knowing how biotechs move, give me some kind of sell-off on this one first. Let's go CRSP. Get closer to the top. I don't know what's going on with TradingView today. Yeah, close to it. All right. Larkin says, I like full moons, bull moons almost as much as I like RLT. Almost. I mean, as long as I don't turn into a werewolf, I'll be okay. Jacob says, just watch the discipline episode on the podcast. Don't forget water. Yeah, water is so important. Gotta hydrate. Let's see. I just want Shopify. Let's take a look at shop. Decent level of support down here, somewhere around 47.04. Looking for maybe 48.70 is our first resistance, so it's got some room there. I think what's just looking at this thing, we're gonna have to draw a fib on this. That would take us from here to here. We're already below the 618, so our real key level of where we got to come up and probably retest at least, and I think that's going to act as a strong resistance, 51.52. If we extend this out further, maybe we have a case for the fibs holding. Let's see. But now I feel like we're getting creative with it. There's the 50% retracement. So from this move up, this is roughly about the 50% retracement. So that would look decent if that's the case. I don't really see a lot of volume in here. Next real volume node takes us right into that 53, 52 zone that we were talking about before. So we could have some room on the higher side here. And I mean, we got through, like I said, we got through October, we got through Halloween, and now you start to probably look at, do we get Christmas rallies? Do we get the Santa rally coming in? Would this be the start to it? Honestly, I think we need November 14th to pass. I think we got to survive today with Jerome Powell speaking, but Shopify is going to play a big part into retail. Technically, this is a retest gap. I like that. I like this wick from yesterday. That is a little bit of a bear trap on this thing. Good close yesterday, right at this. Let's see if we get a pullback on Shopify. So somewhere, if it comes down to like 47.21, I would be interested to take a shot in the long direction, knowing where my stops are. If you're swing trading this thing, 45. Day trade wise, you could probably get your stops like 46.36, somewhere in that zone. But let's see if we get a little pullback first. This is one to roughly about 3 days of not really doing anything, building a little pressure. Very, very nice wick yesterday on a worst case. All right, let's see. Richard Jet says, do ETFs go to zero? They could, but they're not supposed to. Which ETF are you looking at? Like something like the SPY? Probably not. Just based on what's in it. Every ETF is built a little bit differently. So if you have like a Cathie Woods ETF, and I don't think that one goes to zero just because Cathie Woods is involved and she has a name and reputation, and people are going to pour money into it. But if the ETF is it's kind of like a house. If it's built on, you're building a house on a river, all you need is a little flood, and you could get an ETF to go to zero. It's very difficult to get anything to go to zero. But if you got some disasters in the ETF, and the whole ETF is made up of nonsense, you're definitely a little bit more likely where they just kind of shut down the ETF. LABU. But ETFs should, if they're built correctly, Direxion, it's gonna be very tough to go to zero. It looks like it's on the path to do so, but yeah, I don't know what's in. I have to look at Direxion. I don't know what's in it, but it should be the point of an ETF is that it's supposed to be well managed, well diverse. That being said, there's a lot of ETFs built on just sectors and individual things that are in it. So I'd have to take a look at what's in this thing, but it doesn't look great for Direxion at this point. The other thing you want to probably check out is what the fees are for ETFs. Every ETF has some type of fee in it for the most part because it is managed. But if this is like a high fee, oh yeah, this is a bull biotech. What you could do, Richard, is go out to your local gas station or anywhere that sells lottery tickets and buy one. This is this is equivalent to it. Biotechs in general are going to be risky, and then you got an ETF around it. So I would think that this thing probably doesn't hit zero. All biotechs, the way you play it is just buy a whole bunch of them, and hopefully one of them hits. But that is the morning bell, ladies and gentlemen. So, unfortunately, YouTube land, I got to disconnect, but make sure you guys on the way out hit that like and subscribe button. I do appreciate you guys stopping in. Make sure you guys hit that like button. It just feels good. And then check out Real Life Trading. We do have a lot of free education, and we do trade every single day from 9 a.m. till 6 p.m. We got the rooms open. We want to see you here. We want to see you join us. Otherwise,